So I'm Danny Nelson, ex-serviceman for the New Zealand Defence Force, served in Bosnia, East Timor, Afghanistan, now working for the RSA in the support services area, and what that does is pretty much looks after veterans and service people and their families when they're in times of need.
I'm Luke DeVere. I'm currently playing for the Wellington Phoenix as a defender. I've just moved across a few months ago before the start of the season, and yeah, I'm enjoying the life here so far and you know, the challenge of the season as we're getting into it. So tell me, Danny, what's the significance of the poppy?
Well, for us, the poppy obviously is where the guys in World War I fought in the fields of Flanders and in Belgium and France, and that's where they died. And those fields were full of poppies basically, and especially afterwards, you know, and for succeeding generations, you go there now and you see the poppies, etc. And so it became a symbol of basically their sacrifice and what they did over in World War I. And now it's now something that's that symbol that we carry with us whenever we remember our fallen. And of course on Remembrance Day or Armistice Day, it goes a bit further now, and it's to remember those who are currently serving and can't be with us now because of what they're doing overseas.
Yeah. So what does Remembrance mean for those that have served like yourself?
So it's a very personal thing for Remembrance. For me, it's about one, remembering those who have gone before me, so my legacy, if you like, so servicemen who have fought in World War I, World War II, Vietnam, but also the currently serving soldiers as well. So remembering that, you know, especially like for Christmas, etc., they're not going to be here, they're not going to be with their families, and the amount of effort and time and sacrifice that goes into being a soldier or a sailor or an airman, serving overseas, trying to bring about peace to the world basically. I mean, we're very lucky in New Zealand. So remembrance is remembering those who do what they do to help others pretty much, and bring about the mission of peace to the rest of the world.
So Danny, people often forget or are unaware about the scale of and the amount of people that's affected and that have served in the war and that have returned from those conflicts. Do you have any idea about the numbers that are involved?
So at the moment, I mean, unfortunately for New Zealand especially, we don't have an exact number, so it's an approximate, but from what we can gather, it's approximately about 41,000 people are basically returned servicemen. So that includes conflicts from the end, sort of World War II, so there's still some of those guys, the old vets are alive, through Vietnam, Southeast Asia, etc., right up to the modern conflicts of Iraq, Afghanistan, Bosnia, obviously where I served as well. So that's kind of the general numbers we're looking at. Overall, we're probably looking at about 140,000 servicemen and women since end of World War II that are still currently in New Zealand and eligible for support from us and the government.
So Danny, what can we do as players, staff, you know, the general public to help those that have served?
So again, from a very personal sort of perspective, it'd be great if people could, you know, go up to us, servicemen, ex-servicemen, and Anzac Days or any of those type of events and just thank us for a service. You know, it gives us personal validation in what we've done and the sacrifices we've made, and also that the feeling that we've actually contributed to what society is looking for, you know, in peace around the world, and for what we do, and also to attend events that honour veterans around the country, whether it's Anzac Day, Remembrance Day, or any else, you know, that's supporting veterans in what we do, which is supporting them, especially for the RSA. So yeah, go to events, donate. It all goes to a worthy cause to help us and do what we need to do to make sure our veterans are supported when they come back from overseas deployments. And
how does the RSA help those that have served?
So what we find, especially from modern service, is there's a lot of mental health and social health issues. So the social health is a lot of isolation and disconnectedness from society, from serving overseas and seeing what they've seen. So basically what we do is if there's veterans in crisis or needs help, they give us a call and we activate some of our support advisors to give them advice, link them up with other agencies that can help them, whether it's health, veteran affairs, ACC, whatever it may be. And also the poppy funds that we've got, it's purely used to help with especially hardship, medical, educational needs that they can't afford themselves, and basically stabilise the situation and get them where they need to be and get them the help they need.
Yeah. So I know with myself, you know, this is a topic that's quite close to the heart, and for days like Remembrance Day and Anzac Day, growing up it was always quite a big deal in our family. My grandfather actually served in Vietnam. He was a captain of an armoured personnel carrier unit. He received a military cross for his efforts in one of the battles there in Bin Ba, and he himself has done a lot of work for the RSL in Australia, coming back and serving as president for a number of years there in Queensland. So I know what it means to honour those that have served, both past and present, and as I said, for myself, it was always something that was drilled into us well as a family when we grew up.
Awesome.
So Danny, on behalf of the Wellington Phoenix, I'd like to just say how much we appreciate your service and thank you sincerely. Thank you.
Appreciate it. I'd just like to thank Wellington Phoenix and the A-League for remembering us and supporting our veterans and service people. Thanks, mate.
Thanks.